Hey everybody, Christina with Christy Lynn outside, coming to you from the garden for my March garden tour. There is a lot going on out here, and it's actually very overcast today. We're probably about to get about 3 or 4 days worth of rain. So I'm gonna go through this garden real quick with y'all and point out some of the great things that are happening. And then I'm gonna head to the camp. So let's get started. So I'm gonna start on the west side of the garden and give y'all this amazing view of these blackberry bushes. Look at all the flowers, and the bees are really enjoying them. We're gonna have a ton of blackberries this spring, and I'm super excited. All the fig trees have new growth coming up on them, so that's very promising. The mint is going wild. I've already harvested enough to make about 10 tea bags of peppermint tea, and there's still plenty to go around. Alyssum is blooming like crazy. The peppers are already forming. These are kobachi. These are kobachi, and these are Jimmy Nardello. The butter crunch lettuce is popping. Everything is growing amazingly. We have lemon cucumbers right there, along with some red onions. A sun gold tomato that is already blooming. Lots of blooms on this sun gold tomatoes. We're gonna have some awesome sun gold cherry tomatoes soon. Hasinator slicing cucumbers down here with a little chamomile. I think there's chamomile on both sides. You'll notice throughout all of these, in fact, in between the cucumber and the tomatoes, I have some beans planted also that I just planted yesterday. You'll notice all of my gardens are very intensely planted, and I've done that for a reason, just to see how far I can get with all of this. This other bed has red onions in it, peas, more beans that are planted there in between that sun gold tomato that is also blooming. More peas, more chamomile down there, more butter crunch lettuce, choricherdo peppers that are already forming, some red legia peppers that are already forming, more lettuce. I have so much lettuce, I don't know what to do with it all. I've told my daughters to come get some. I bring some to work every weekend. More peas. I need to do something with this trellis though, it's kind of falling apart. See, it was tied up there, but the wind kind of blew it apart, so I need to do something with that. But in here with the peas, I have some small wonder spaghetti squash that's gonna trail, if it lives, it's gonna trail along outside and spill outside of the planter. Here is my asparagus and strawberry bed with tomatoes all along the perimeter. Red snapper tomatoes, some black cherry tomatoes, some more sun gold tomatoes with blooms. The sun golds seem to be the early bloomers this year. I've never had sun gold, so I'm excited. I have some homestead tomatoes, which got some fertilizer on them. Some red torch tomatoes, and if you'll notice, the trellis system I have is wrapping, the twine wraps around the stem of the tomatoes. The red torch has blooms too. Lots of asparagus coming up. Some tomato tomatoes. And I was super excited to see this. I didn't want to pick it until I made my video. But my very first strawberry. Yay! So I'm gonna pick that. So exciting. Lots of strawberries coming up in the middle of this patch though. Hasinator tomatoes on the end here. The green stalk is doing awesome. My very first zinnia, as pitiful looking as it is, still beautiful. The alyssum, just showing off. Strawberries. Lots of things in here. I have a bunch of different pepper plants in here. I have strawberries. I have another one that's turning red right there. More flowers. These are going to be beautiful when they bloom. These are the, let's see, the Big Kiss White Flame. The Zadia. Lots of zinnias about to bloom. Lots of peppers. If you saw my pepper video, I have 17 different kinds of pepper that I planted the other day. I planted about 2 of each type, so I have 34 pepper plants in this garden. Oh, there's my Buena Mulata is blooming. I have parsley galore and one lone bachelor button that survived from the fall. It's about to bloom. That's going to be beautiful. That's really going to be beautiful. I can't wait for that. Potatoes, the red potatoes, not doing so great, but we'll get some. That one's turning yellow for some reason. I added a little fertilizer. I'm not sure what's happening with that. But my cilantro is bolting already. And I mean, it's bringing in the pollinators, so I'm not complaining. Those are some beautiful flowers though. Look at those beautiful flowers. This container has a bunch of different flowers, including this lavender. I just planted some other zinnia under the sea zinnia, so those are going to be pretty when they bloom. More alyssum, more chamomile. That's what that is, getting there on the bottom. My Yukon Gold potatoes that are doing really well. This other container has a bunch of different flowers in them. Also, more alyssum, more zinnias. I have a echinacea that I think might actually bloom this year. It's shooting up, so that might be a flower stalk, I think. It's a Echinacea purpura. These cosmos, which are gorgeous. I wish I had planted more of them. Look at these, how pretty. Some more of them over here. They're so beautiful. And then I have some vinca and some more zinnia in this pot, and some more zinnias in this pot also. And this right here is a little lemon balm. Can't wait for that lemon balm to take off, because I love lemon balm tea. Now over here are my white 4x4 beds. Lots of them. I think now I have, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total. 10 total 4x4 beds here. Now with my 3 new ones. This is the #garlic challenge. The garlic is looking great. 2 different kinds of garlic here with some red onions in the middle. The onions are doing fair. I'm not sure if they're getting enough sun though. This is my tomato and pepper bed with this. If you saw my pepper video, I was talking about the intricate cage system that I built, and you can see this is really kind of crazy, but I think it's gonna work. It was difficult to plant in, but you can add these arms. These arms snap off right here. These arms snap off and you can add them up the stake. You can add extenders. You can make it as tall as you want. And I think that'll be perfect for these determinate tomatoes and peppers. Got another big bunch of lettuce there. I have celery in the corners of almost all of my gardens. Right there, celery. This is, you can't see the onions very well anymore, but this is Texas super sweet onions and white Kennebec potatoes sprinkled in. There are no bald spots anymore. I had some bald spots from the onions that were dug up. And now the potatoes have just completely taken over. And I didn't even know that potatoes bloom. But these potatoes have a ton of blooms. This is the other side of the tomato and pepper bed. You can kind of see it a little better. There are, I think, 4 different kinds of tomatoes and 4 different kinds of peppers in this bed, with celery and Mizuna. The Mizuna, which strangely enough is getting attacked by something. Maybe some sort of worm or snail or slug. And honestly, I'm not mad about it because nothing is touching any of the other plants. So if I just have to keep Mizuna on the edge of this bed to keep everything away from the tomatoes and the peppers, I'm 100% okay with that. There are peppers, bell peppers already forming in this bed as well. This bed I'm super proud of. I know I'm going fast, I'm sorry. I have a lot to do today and I don't want to get rained on. But this bed, look at this. Celery, lettuce, cabbage, rosemary, oregano, thyme, just packed in this 4x4 bed, and all of it is thriving. I couldn't be more proud. The next bed here, I have carrots and more cabbage. And you can actually see soil in this bed, so we'll have to take care of that. This bed, I just have a bunch of random wires up to try to keep, if you can see right here, the neighborhood wildlife has completely dug up almost all of my Danvers carrots. And this is where I think he has made his home. So I don't think it really makes any sense to plant anything else right here. Just leave it like it is. So he'll stop damaging everything. I have a couple little carrot survivors over here. But I put these wires up and he still sneaks in between and digs. And I'm pretty sure poops in there. Devil's ear lettuce, Brown's beauty lettuce, more celery. This is my indeterminate tomato bed, and I think in one of my previous videos I talked about how a lot of my tomatoes took a hit, and the biggest hit that I got was to my indeterminate tomatoes. So this one right here in the middle is my hashtag tomato challenge. The exact tomato. Only one of them survived. So he's on his own, and who knows, he might win. We'll see. But I have some delicious tomato. I have two delicious tomatoes over here, the big sack tomato, and I have one delicious tomato over there, which the twine that I wrapped around it was dry rotted and it snapped in the wind. So I don't know if you can see, but he's kind of twisted around right there, a little twisty. So I'm gonna have to put some new twine up on the trellis and fix him up so he doesn't break. On the other side of that garden, I have more celery and more lettuce, Merlot, and I want to say it's another red lettuce on the other side there. Vidora onions that are really doing well. Look at this. The Vidora onions are doing amazing. I have a broadleaf sage that I planted here and it's not doing very well, but from what I read, broadleaf sage and onions do not get along. The onions apparently stunt the growth of the sage, and so that would be why she's not doing very well. And I might save her from this area and move her somewhere else. I have one garden bed that's not filled yet. I have some soil in the carport that is ready to fill this one. But these are my two new beds with squash, radicchio, zucchini, some marigolds, some more celery, some basil, and whatever else I can shove in there eventually. And in this new bed, I have four different kinds of eggplant and 4 different kinds of pepper. Latoyo eggplants, Casper eggplants, manganji peppers, Hidalgo poblano peppers. I have some snapdragons on the side here that were not doing well, so I just threw them in the garden and hopefully they'll survive. I got pimento peppers, paprika peppers, little fingers eggplants, and Palermo eggplants. And the poblano peppers already have some peppers that are forming. You can really zoom in. You can see them forming. The other peppers were smaller. You can see they're much smaller because they got started much later. And I have my banana shrub, my banana, what is this? A banana magnolia? That's what it is. With some more alyssum. I threw a little eucalyptus. Yeah, that's what this is. I threw some eucalyptus in here so it wouldn't die. It'll probably get transplanted somewhere else, but for now that's where it should live. And I have the 2 fig trees with mint surrounding them. Look at these fig trees, doing great. This one is doing wonderful with alyssum and mint. Going crazy. Love me some peppermint. And then same thing with this one. This fig tree also doing pretty good. Hanging in there. Looking good. And my little turtle friend. He's so cute. I guess I had this on my banana magnolia, my little turtle. I guess Peanut came and moved him the other day, and I didn't even notice until today. But he looks really cute right there, climbing up the alyssum. These alyssum are beautiful. Gosh, I hope they stay like this all summer. Alright, I had to come inside because it was starting to rain. The wind was really picking up. But I hope you enjoyed my March tour of my garden. And if you liked it, please subscribe and like the video. And maybe comment down what would you do differently in my garden? Would you not plant so intensively? Would you plant a little more somewhere else? Are there any flowers that I can add? I know last year I said that I didn't want to put flowers in the garden, that I was just going to do containers around the garden. But I kind of did a little more research and I decided that I'm going to try to do flowers that are shorter, that don't get so tall. Because last year, if you remember from a couple of my videos, I had some magnolias that got like almost 3 feet tall, and they shaded out a lot of my tomato plants, my determinate tomatoes, and killed them. So I was really upset about that, and I had vowed to not do any flowers in the garden whatsoever. But I love flowers. I mean, they're beautiful and they're really beneficial. They bring in a lot of the beneficial bugs and pollinators. And so I did a little research. I got some shorter variety marigolds. I got some smaller flowers. The alyssum is absolutely beautiful and it stays really compact and short. So let me know, are there any shorter flowers that you would put in your garden? I did put some calendula around in the garden. I put, I put chamomile in containers. I put some zinnia in containers. I put calendula in the garden. I put some shorter marigolds in the garden. And we'll see how they do. If they start to get too tall though, I'm either cutting them down or I'm pulling them out, because they are not going to interfere with my tomatoes this year. I have yet to have a great tomato year, and I'm determined to have some tomatoes this year. So let me know what you think in the comments, and keep growing.